So I used to write comments all the time. I'd read all the people, I'd comment. I'm like, I'm going to be engaged. I'm going to show you that I care about what you're saying. All this. Wow, you respond to everybody. I was reading every single comment. Now I write a comment. You're a narcissist. You read people's comments and you respond. And I'm like, when I started, that was one of my best qualities. I wonder if you noticed this. Do you notice how a lot of us, me and you, because I watch a lot of your videos, other people like Derek, we all have similar topics. Do you notice how that comes up with, we all have similar topics, and I've been accused of, I'm stealing other people's ideas and topics a lot. And I'm like, sometimes I see their video and I actually do the same video. Other times I did the video and they did the same one. But I just noticed how almost all the YouTubers tend to go over the same topics. And I have a theory. Something comes out like a study and we all get it, and we have people that watch my channel, your channel, our channels, and they recommend. I don't know if you get ideas from your subs and your fans. I get that. And we are all presented the same thing. They probably write me and they write you and they write Derek and they write everybody. Talk about this person, this weight loss, this study. And so we end up with all the same videos, and people are probably thinking we're all stealing each other's idea, but it's just, that's what's trending in the world, and that's just what we happen to talk about.
Yeah, I get it all the time. I got it the other day. Someone said, Miller, you're just Greg Doucette, more plates, more dates, light. And I was like, there's only so many things I could. If I don't talk about what they're talking about, the channel is just going to be sat at a camera looking at you. Because, the thing is, I don't, even if you came on here right now and said, Simon, I stole all your ideas, I'd be like, good, great, because I stole them from somebody else. Like it's a compliment, absolutely. But I didn't make up any of these things. They're real things that are happening in the world that just happen to land on my doorstep. So no, I don't understand that at all. I find that a really odd criticism. If anything, I think it's cool. Like if an interesting topic comes out, I want to know what you're going to say about it, or Derek, or Shredded Science, or whoever. I want to know what's their take on it. Do they agree with me? Sometimes I'll do a video on it, and then I'll watch yours, and you'll have a different take, and I'll go, "Was I wrong?" And I think that's great. I think it's great to question yourself like that and kind of take other people's information into it. And there are some things that you just have to talk about, like they just absolutely are. I mean, I know I mentioned him earlier, but when the sort of we all clamored to try and pull V-Shred off his pedestal. I think that was an important cause to try and make sure. So it wasn't just one person saying it, we're all saying it. But then I also think we all bring our own individual personality and trait to that subject, which I do get that all the time though. One person said the other day, Simon, you'll never get as big as Greg or Derek because you just rip off their stuff all the time. And that's just like, I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about? But again, it's what we said earlier. That person, what I don't get is, what are you mad about? Let's say that I did. Let's say I watched one of your videos and I just did my own version. You can get mad, but why is this other person mad? I don't get it. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, haters just want to hate. And I find it's funny because when I was a smaller YouTuber, by smaller, like, under 100,000, I could do any video and everyone loved every video. And then as you get bigger, all of a sudden they want to shit on you. When you're a smaller channel, you're underrated. Your channel is so oh my goodness, you should have way more followers. And then when you get them, oh, why do people like you? You were good in 2020. You're so old news. No one's watching your channel. And I'm on Social Blade every week and I get 15 to 16 million views a month. And I'm like, I'm literally more popular than I was 4 months ago, but all the comments are, you're a has-been, you're washed up, you have no good topics, we don't like you anymore. And I'm like, I'm doing the exact same stuff I've always done. Like, sorry.
I love how people care about your view count. Isn't that amazing? They're going through each one of your videos going, well, that was 200,000, but that was 175. Oh, that's 400. It's like the view count on YouTube is a flip of a coin anyway. It depends what mood YouTube's in that day to begin with. So, there is no point. Of course, you need to focus on it because you're a businessman and that's your analytics and your metrics and your numbers. And if things drop, you need to look at all what do I need to do? But outside of that, nobody should be worrying about what the hell anybody is doing on YouTube. I think, and I'm going to sound well cheesy now, but I mean it. I think the worst thing about YouTube is you do get these crazy big numbers and you forget about that one individual person that is watching it going, oh man, isn't this great? Because you don't see that after a while. It's like you said, you got 10,000, then all of a sudden it's 50,000, 100,000, and you kind of just get lost in this numerical fantasy land. But, the things that I love the most. So some days, of course, I'm a human being. I'm like, oh, the channel's not doing very well, or it did better last month. What have I done wrong? And then you'll get an Instagram DM or or a Twitter DM or an email, someone just saying, oh man, Simon, I watched this video. It really inspired me to go back to the gym. And you're like, boom, there you go. Obviously, we need to make money from this stuff. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do it. But knowing that actual core message still gets through to people, that's the greatest thing ever. And when I read, I still can't believe that anybody, I got one the other day with somebody saying that they started watching my fitness videos because they see my wrestling videos and they weren't into fitness, but it was inspired them to go back to the gym. And I was like, I'll put that on my gravestone. Like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely. You got to remember the good things, forget the bad. As far as like, I'm just thinking of comments. So I used to write comments all the time. I'd read all the people, I'd comment. I'm like, I'm going to be engaged. I'm going to show you that I care about what you're saying. All this. Wow. You respond to everybody. I was reading every single comment. Now I write a comment. You're a narcissist. You read people's comments and you respond. And I'm like, when I started, that was one of my best qualities, and I want to show that I still care and I read comments, but now I'm just a narcissist because I'm doing exactly what I did my entire life, doing these YouTube comments, and you can't win. So you just got to, you focus on the good, just forget the
Exactly. You can't win. It's the same way that people are going to accuse you of being on every drug under the sun, even though you have been completely transparent about your current protocol. But they've already decided. Because, again, it ties to what we said earlier. It makes them feel better about their own physiques or their own things they're struggling with, which really is kind of sad, because it would be great if they were able to get in touch with that and actually go and get help and put them, I don't mean that sounds way more dramatic than I meant it to, but I meant get themselves back into a more positive place where they could actually, just take information at face value, as aside from getting really, really upset about it. But, it's the nature of the beast when it comes to YouTube. And I almost take it as a compliment these days that anybody wants to say anything on my videos. So if it's good, great. If it's bad, great. The fact that you care and you're that engaged enough that you wanted to tell me this, I always take that moment and go, let that initial frustration just calm down, and remember how really cool it is that even if this person thinks you're the worst human being on the planet, they still took time out of their day to let you know that you suck. I was like, you know what? Thank you very much.
I mean, and taking this analogy back to wrestling, it takes, I think, more talent to be the villain, to go out there and get the entire crowd booing at you and hating you, and that's your role. And bring it, you suck, the whole thing. So when somebody takes the time to watch my video, press the dislike button, and make a comment, you just watched my video and commented, helped you out. How can I ask for more than that? I mean, really.
Exactly. And I remember there was a channel, I can't remember what it was years ago now, somebody in the comments I'm sure will know it, where his whole goal was just getting as many dislikes as he could. But YouTube didn't know that. YouTube just knew, oh man, interaction, engagement, and his channel did great. And I thought that was, wonderful. So, I mean, YouTube is a crazy, crazy thing. It really, really is. But the reason I love it is for many reasons. Like, I started doing fitness stuff, say a year and a half ago. And if you had told me March 2020, I think it was, that here we would be in September 2021 and we'd be having a chat, I'd be like, well, that sounds like a pretty good progression. That sounds like a pretty good thing to aim for. So it really does have a lot of good in it. Like, I love how it kind of, the bad does outweigh the good just because the bad people are so loud, but there is just so much good in it. And again, I just think it's awesome that it can lead to places like this.
Yeah, and I mean, as soon as you said that some people are trying to get negativity, I was thinking, is that Vegan Gains? Like, literally, I'm thinking, is that his goal? And how do we know he's not a mastermind and he's faking the whole thing? He's planning, he's like, the only way I can get people to like me is to be hated. And so he says all these things, but then he takes it too far. Like, how do we know? Like, maybe, like, he's done probably 10 videos of hating me, like, so much. But maybe if I met him in real life, maybe he'd be like, hey, man, like, who knows? We don't know how people act. Like, some of these natty or nots I've done on people, like Cali Muscle, and, different guys, and they just, like, they hate me.